Good afternoon, just out on a ride to nowhere in particular, to be honest. Just wanted to get out on the bike for a little while, seeing as we're doing a little tour of Warrington. And trust me, it won't take long. That's Bank Park, a kind of town centre park if you like, and then behind that is the council buildings. And then another landmark, something that Warrington is quite famous for, is called the Golden Gates. So the Golden Gates is fronted to the town hall there, so if you do any kind of running races or any kind of event, they typically end there. And then straight ahead of me, town centre, but restricted to buses and taxis, so we'll cut down here. Balmoral Square, nice little bit, and restaurants and cafes, and straight ahead of me is one called the Parr Hall, which is a theatre, so if any comedians come to town, it's normally in there. And we're out onto the Wilson Patton Street, which would lead back up to the station where we just went past. We're going to head out. I'm still indicating right while turning left, that's a good one. Head out on the A49 south. So yeah, now we do the middle lane. Just keep going all the way around. Invariably get cut up. Just go over the bridge. The other thing Warrington has a lot of is bridges. I quite like them in some ways, obviously not these little things, but there's some quite nice old industrial looking bridges over some parts of the rivers where they actually need to open or be as high as to let boats under or to swing open to let the boats through. I'm just wondering how I'm doing for fuel. There's one annoyance with this actually, you have to exit the navigation to get into your trip information, which I'm reluctant to do because sometimes when you exit it, it won't let you back in. It just comes up with this timeout error, and you then have to get your phone out and reconnect it. So it's not the end of the world, it's a little bit annoying. I said before about this tripper system, I think it's amazing that they came with it. I wouldn't buy it. I'm sure there are better systems on the market if you are buying an aftermarket navigation system that's a lot more reliable in terms of connectivity, but considering this is inbuilt and free, didn't charge any more for it, and as shown before, hopefully you're seeing this, long press a button and then I'm into Google Maps, and I've got a head-up display, not a head-up display, but a north-facing display if you like for map as to where we're headed, and you can zoom in and out of that. I do like the speedo design. I mean, I thought it was nice when I first saw it, and then the more I ride with it, the more it grows on me because it's so clear. Riding the Husqvarna kind of brought that into focus a little bit, because one of the screens I was looking at, I think the gear shift indicator was bigger than the speed. It's all completely wrong, but this, very clear. Gear shift in the centre, nice big speedometer to the right, rev counter go around the outside. Perfect. So this is Stockton Heath. We're now south of the river, so the house prices have jumped up by about £100,000 just by doing that. But yeah, Stockton Heath is lovely, bars and restaurants. It is just a town full of restaurants now. There used to be actually useful things like banks and what have you. They've all gone over the years. I think what was the Lloyds Bank is now Starbucks, for example. That was one of the last ones to go. Yeah, hairdressers, restaurants, but a very nice little place and some stunning houses. I was trying to work out, as you've seen, I'll just move my head up and down because you'll see the TFT comes into view at a certain angle. So running your camera at either 25 or 50 frames per second seems to get rid of the flicker, but it does then become quite angle dependent. Getting way more into photography than I know anything about, so gonna have to do some more learning there. Don't know where I got this from, but I always thought 25 to 30 frame rate was the ideal for this kind of thing. Enough to capture the movement smoothly, but still get the sensation of speed, hopefully. Started going down the rabbit hole of bikes again, so I keep looking around. I very much liked the R12 S, I think it was, the retro 70s orange and silver one. I took a photo of it at the NEC, not the NEC, at the XL show, which I'll flash up on the screen now. It really is a gorgeous bike. It's like the R90 Racer when they launched that, but it's the nicest possible way. It's a chubbier version, it's a comfy version of that bike. It is basically an R1290 in some fancy clothes, with a lot of options ticked. So it is about an 18 grand bike, so pricey one, but very nice looking. Anyway, yes, I digress. I was liking the look of that, and was not liking the price tag of that, because obviously you're paying for the clothing, aren't you? And I think compared to some of the other bikes I'm looking at, the middleweight adventure bikes and the Ducatis, it doesn't represent good value for money. Maybe as a used one it does, but certainly not as a new one. You may as well go for the standard model, which even then is questionable as to whether it's good value for money, because again, you're paying for clothes. Just go and buy an old GS or an old R1200. But they have announced the R12 GS, the new neo retro looking one. Oh, I might be cheeky here. Oh, that was a good wind. Yeah, R12 GS. They had obviously the R90 and GS before. It's very much along the same lines. I think it's going to be slightly more capable of road. Not that I care about that in the slightest. Stay there. Thank you. However, I think that is a lovely looking bike, that new one. And I'm sure most of them will never venture off-road anyway, because I think it starts about 14-15 grand, and realistically, who's taking their 14-15 grand bikes off-road and risking damage to them, because he doesn't really have much in the way of protection on it. Not a very practical one. So yeah, we'll see. Definitely worth having a look at that one. I was going to go ride the R90, but I think now I may wait till that comes out. I've never actually ridden the old air-cooled boxer. Mine was the 1250, so it was the oil-cooled version, and it was a lovely engine. Lacked a little bit of character, quite tappety, because it sounded nice and start up. Whenever I got home after a ride, it always sounded like it was very tappy for some reason. I'm told that was normal. Yeah, they do that same light white with the red seat as they did with the R90 Open Scrambler. They're doing that with the GS. Great seat height again. Does look very, very nice. But I'm sure, again, it's not going to be any more practical than this. Somebody very kindly replied to one of my videos I mentioned about a Givy screen, Givy, how do you pronounce it? Like a full-size touring screen. I'm kind of torn. I do want more of a screen, and there's two reasons I don't. One is aesthetically, I never like the look of them. If I could get one I could click on and off, I'd be tempted. The other thing I don't particularly like about them is looking through them. So I like the fact of looking over this, and kind of the smaller standard screens you tend to get, you're not looking through. That's one thing I really didn't like on that Husqvarna, was kind of looking through the screen the whole time. A bumpy roundabout. Well, it wouldn't put me off buying it, but yeah, not the best. Yeah, the other one I saw, again came up on Instagram, was the Suzuki, I have to remember the name of this now, it's the GSXR, but it's a bright yellow special edition one, and it's Kiro, I think it is. I think there's not many numbers, I think quite low numbers of bikes coming, but again, has absolutely stunning looking bike. Yeah, I'm not normally a big fan of sporty bikes because I know they won't be comfortable, I won't be able to get on them, but certainly going to try with those two because they look absolutely outstanding. There's also one other guy started following on Instagram who's got a Honda Rebel. I forget the username now, otherwise I'll give him a shout out, but yeah, he's pretty good at photography as well, but it's a very nice looking bike with the full kind of headlight cowl and the bagger look with the hard pannies on the back. I can see why someone might choose that over a Harley. Yeah, really quite a striking bike. But then with you know, Japanese reliability and running costs, so, and I believe you can get it with a DCT as well. So, cool. Well, that never normally happens. We sit there for ages. I think I'm going to have to adjust that brake pedal. When I first got the bike, I found it too high. I kept catching my boot on it, and felt when I was pushing it. I was kind of already half engaged. I think I was dragging the brake, so adjusted the position of it, which was fine. Excuse me. Just the position of it, but now actually it feels like I'm having too much travel to actually get the brake to engage. So what do you think of the white TFT versus the black? If you can see it anyway. I always prefer the black, which I keep it in black mode most of the time, and then I realised whilst moaning about it on the video the other day, the choices aren't black, white or auto, the choices are auto or black, or dark, sorry. And effectively what the black screen was really intended, I think, as a nighttime mode, because white's quite glary. So yeah, really shouldn't have come as any surprise to me that on very bright days actually the visibility is not as good. So I've stuck it into this auto mode now, so that it's white in the lighter environments. I won't go too fast. Yeah, and I think it is a bit better. I was kind of on the verge of pulling off the anti-reflective film, but actually I think what I'll do is just leave it in auto through the summer, and put it back into to black when we're riding in darker skies again. Okay, so I think I'll leave you there. I may put the camera back on the way back, just on a different setting, just to have a mess around with it. But if not, thank you for watching this if you have. And yeah, see you next time.